Hello, BKFK listeners. We've been hard at work on a 3-part series all about giants. Shh, not yet. I said not now. Just go back to your dungeon and we'll call you when we need you. As I was saying, a 3-part series all about giants. In this series, we are blessed with some wonderful performers.
My name's Honor. I'm 9 years old. I live in Dubai, but I'm from Scotland and I love pottery. Hi, my name is Eli. I am 6 years old. I like dinosaurs and reading books. My name is David Liam. I'm 7 years old. I really like baseball and family time, and I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Great to have you guys on the team. If you listeners would like to perform with us, just go to bykids4kids.co and click on Audition. I guarantee it will be loads of fun. And remember, join us on Patreon for almost 60 extra stories and plenty of other great benefits. And now, over to the veteran BKFK narrator, Ruby.
Jack the Giant Slayer, Part 1. Many years ago, there lived a brave young man named Jack, who loved reading stories of conjurers, giants, and fairies. It just so happened that on an island nearby, there lived a huge giant named Cormoran. He was terrifying, fierce and savage, and 3 times as tall as a human. He lived in a gloomy cave on the top of a mountain. He used to wade through the sea to the mainland in search of prey. There, he would hunt, stealing oxen, sheep, and pigs that he would take home for his ferocious feasts. The giant had done this for many years when Jack decided enough was enough. Jack took a horn, a shovel, a pickaxe, his armour, and a lantern. And one winter's evening, he rode over to the island. At the foot of the mountain, he dug a large hole in the ground. He covered the top with branches to make it look like solid ground. He'd made a trap. He then blew his horn so loudly that the giant woke up and came out of his den crying out,
"You puny rascal! I'll boil you for my breakfast!"
In his rage, he took a step forward and tumbled right into the deep pit.
Let me out!
Jack struck him with his pickaxe. No matter how the giant roared and scrabbled at the side of the hole, he could not reach Jack, and soon enough, he was defeated and banished from the land. Jack then returned home to the joyful cheering of the villagers. But another giant, called Blunderbore, vowed to get revenge for all the giants on Jack. This giant lived in an enchanted castle in a lonely forest. Sometime after the battle with Cormoran, Jack was passing through the forest. He was tired and set up camp and soon went to sleep. Little did Jack know, the giant had seen him. He seized Jack and threw him over his shoulder like a sack of potatoes and carried him to his castle, where he locked him up in a dungeon, the floor of which was covered with the skulls and bones of men and women. Blunderbore had a gruesome plan for Jack and went to fetch his brother to join in the fun. Jack searched the dungeon in desperation for anything that might help him. He picked up an old bone to use as a club, but then said to himself,
This will be of no use against two grisly gargantuan giants.
Then he saw a dirty old rope under a pile of muck.
Maybe I can create another trap.
He pondered.
I'll just tie one end of the rope here and another loop over there.
He was very clever with his knots. He tied the rope to a metal loop in the ceiling and then to the dungeon door. And soon enough, he had set a clever trap. Then he heard noises.
The giants are back.
He gasped as he did his best to disguise the rope. Jack watched with terror through the bars of his prison as the two giants approached.
Ah, brother,
said Blunderbore.
I've been looking forward to this day. Yes!
Roared the brother.
We will give this miserable human all the punishment he deserves. First, we tie him up and tickle his feet with a feather till he screams.
Continued Blunderbore.
And then the real fun will begin.
The giants discussed their awful plan, which was too ghastly to tell you. You'll have to use your imagination. Let's just say it would have been a dreadful and painful end for poor Jack. The giants roared with laughter as they came up with more cruel ideas of what to do with Jack. At last they approached the dungeon. Jack curled up in the corner and did his best to look as pathetic and harmless as possible. He closed his eyes, pretending to be asleep, with the end of his rope next to his hand. He heard Blunderbore unlock the dungeon door.
Boy!
Roared his brother.
Wake up, boy! I know you can hear us. Wake up and face your doom, boy!
He then tried to push past Blunderbore to get to Jack first, but Blunderbore yelled,
Oh, he's mine! Me first!
Both giants grunted as they tried to push and wrestle past each other to get to Jack first. Jack heard them coming closer and closer. And then he pulled the rope. The rope looped around their feet, tripping the roaring giants to the ground. Jack leapt up and ran for the dungeon door. Blunderbore reached out a hand and managed to trip Jack, who tumbled to the floor.
Got you!
Roared the giant, but Jack landed in a ball and rolled out the door.
No, I've got you!
He shouted as he pulled the door closed and locked it. The giants ran for the door and tried to reach Jack through the bars with their long arms, but Jack was too fast.
Curse you! You muck spout! You ragabrush! You fussed along!
But no matter how they smashed the prison bars and shook the gate, they were trapped in their own prison. Jack took the great bunch of keys and went into the castle. He searched through all the rooms, and in one of them, he found 3 prisoners tied up and almost starved to death.
I have put an end to the monster
Jack declared.
and his wicked brother, and I give you this castle and all the riches in it to make up for the dreadful suffering you have endured.
Then he gave them the keys of the castle and went further on his journey. He was on his way to becoming the most famous conqueror of giants the world had ever known. He had defeated 3 giants, but these giants were nothing compared to the beastly brutes that he would soon meet.
Hey guys, if you like this episode, please share it with your friends and family. It is one of the best ways to support BKFK Storytime.